Wilson Elementary. It's Miss Stella Potts, your school counselor. I'm coming at you from my cozy counseling corner, and today I'm going to be reading you a story very similar to Have You Filled Your Bucket Today? This story is called How Full Is Your Bucket? It's written by Tom Rath and Maurie Reckmeyer, and it's illustrated by Maurie J. Manning. Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. "I want to build with you," she said. Felix scowled. "Go away, you're too little." "I'm big. Stay back. You'll knock it over. I can be very careful. Go play with your baby toys, Anna." Thwack. Grandpa shook his head. "Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad, but when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket?" Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. But the next morning, when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. When Felix came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. "I've got a meeting this morning and it's almost time to go. Anna, sit still." Felix slipped and the choco wheat scattered across the floor. "Felix," yelled his mom, "you should have used the stool to reach that." Felix could feel his bucket tip and big invisible drips spill out. Drip, drip. "Ha ha," Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. Drip. "Get the broom and clean that up before you miss the bus," scolded Mom. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the choco wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one bite, Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip. "Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it." Drip. "Psst, Felix, psst." Drip. "Watch out, shrimp." Drip. So each time someone's being mean, he's getting a drip from his bucket coming out, right? It was still morning, and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumpernickel walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. "Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class?" Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop. Drop, plop, plink, drop. The class grew quiet. They laughed at the right places and oohed at all the scary parts. When Felix finally read the end, everyone clapped, even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. Felix read the story, The Giganotosaurus Who Wanted a Pet, by me, Felix. So when he shared his story and everyone cheered for him, it started to fill up his bucket because it made him feel good. So throughout the day, he gets a note from his mom and he gets another drop in his bucket. And then team captains today are Veronica and Felix. He gets another drop in his bucket. And then the art teacher says, "Wow, nice cow." And he goes, "It's a dog." "Well, nice colors there, Felix." And that adds another drop to his bucket. And then another person goes, "Cool laser ant backpack, Felix." And that adds another drop to his bucket. So all these good things happening and people being kind are adding drops to his bucket. By the afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. So he sees everyone's invisible buckets. And then he starts to fill up other people's buckets. So he goes, "Let me help you," for someone that dropped all their stuff. And then he gets to drop in his bucket and their bucket. And then he goes, "Here's your baseball catch. Thanks, dude." And that drops some good things in his bucket and the other person's bucket. And then he goes, "Hi, I'm Felix. First day?" And he goes, "Yes, I'm Amir." And since he was nice to him, a drop goes in both their buckets. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own. So when you do kind things, it makes them feel good and you feel good, right? When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket, and I understand how it works." Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog," he almost scolded. But then he thought, dogs might have invisible buckets too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her. Until then, do you want me to help build you the tallest building in the world with my blocks?" And so they did. And that's the story about how Felix became a bucket filler and how he learned about how full his bucket was, or how full your bucket is.